Hello and welcome to this week's Craft and Chat. It's Tuesday the 18th of November 2025. Thank you so much for joining me if you're joining either on YouTube or on Facebook. I am aware in the world of the internet there are some major outages. It seems that Cloudflare is down and or causing all kinds of problems. So I hope that I'm live and equally I hope that you are able to watch the video, but if you're not and you're having to watch this on the replay, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going to have 10-15 minutes of chatting and then we will get crafting. And today I have some gifting packaging for you. So if you could do me a sound and light check, I would really appreciate that. I am expecting a delivery, as always, on a Tuesday when I'm live. I've got 2 lives today, and I can guarantee that my doorbell is going to ring at some point during this live. So if I have to run away, I'm really sorry. So how are we this week? I am tired, actually. Last Saturday was my last weekend event of the year. It was my in-person Christmas retreat, which was wonderful. We had a lot of fun. So many projects and cards made. Yeah, it was a really lovely day, but the build up to these big events is always quite time consuming with all the prep. So yeah, I think I've just kind of come down off the high of the event and just I'm tired now. Of course it could have something to do with all the traveling we did the week before. However many hundreds of miles that was. So, you know, who knows? But how are we feeling? Has anyone got snow? If you are new here, I'm a little bit obsessed with snow. Where I live in the UK is right down on the south coast. When you're looking at a map of the UK, there is a little island in the middle at the bottom of the UK map. That's the Isle of Wight. Well, we live on the mainland, kind of opposite that. There are lots of places much further south than us, but where we are on the south coast, we're really sheltered from the weather. And I'm sure it's because the Isle of Wight takes the brunt of it. So we never get snow. That's not true. Almost never get snow. So whenever there is snow in the UK forecast, I'm thinking, where is it? Can I go? Because I love snow. But yeah, we just never get it. And there's weather warnings all over the place for snow. So let me know. Let me know. Oh, brilliant. Ali is here. Good to see you. And Scylla and Donna from Australia. Thank you, Donna, for staying up so late to chat to us. And Lorraine saying the sound is all good and she's saying hello to all her crafty friends too. Chilly in Oxford, says Margaret. Judith, hello. Oh, Donna's saying it snowed in Oz last week up in the snowy mountains. But you're going into summer, Donna. What's that about? You should be getting good weather, not snowy weather. Well, we had a frost here last night, which is the first frost of this winter. And Brian works in the office on a Tuesday, and he's up and out the house before 6:30 usually. And I'd said to him last night when we got in, are you going to put your frost cover on your car tonight? Because the weather's turned. And he went, do you know what? I just might. And he was pleased he did, because this morning it was really frosted over. So not good. Chilly. Ali's saying the street lights come on. It's 2 o'clock. This is, I tell you, the British pastime of the weather and how dark it is at this time of year. I love living in the UK. I love the changes of the seasons and the longer days in the summertime. But I don't like these dark evenings or dark afternoons, in fact. Yeah. I for those of you that do some traveling, one of the things that I really struggle with when we're away is obviously the closer you are to the equator, the more likely day and night is going to be the same length of time. So when we've been in Florida, for instance, much further south than we are, and Mexico, it's like light at 7 o'clock in the morning, but it's dark at 7 o'clock at night. And my brain just doesn't compute that, because at home here in the summer, when it's warm, it's still light at 10 o'clock at night. And in actual fact, it's probably light at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I love that. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Oh no. Okay. So Donna's saying it's not unusual for where she lives. And I guess that's the other thing, isn't it? Australia is so vast. I don't know how many little maps of the UK you could plop into Australia, but I guess it's probably a lot. So, you know, obviously you get big extremes of weather as well. Margaret saying, what else would we talk about except for the weather? Well, you know, the weather. How are we? We talk about our ailments, don't we? We talk about what's on the telly. What's good on the telly? Actually, when I saw Mum last week, I did say to her something about, oh, it's probably nearly time for Christmas movies. And she went, oh no, they've been on all year. Channel 53 or channel 56. What? So yeah, so you can watch Christmas movies all year round. I have to say, I was downloading books on my Kindle at the weekend, and I have Kindle Unlimited, which is basically, it's a subscription service, but you can download books for free. So a lot of the books, because I read so quickly, it's a really cost-effective way of me getting lots and lots of books. So I was flicking through, seeing what I was going to download, and there's this like whole raft of Christmas stories. So I've probably got about 6 or 7 of those. So I think I'm going to be feeling very festive. Kathy Jean, hello. Alberta, Canada is in the house. Good to see you, Kathy. And Ali saying the price of ham. We will talk about the price of ham. Actually, let's talk about the price of paint. We're on the final bathroom. Well, not bathroom, toilet, actually, downstairs loo in our house. So we've decorated the upstairs bathroom. We've decorated the shower room downstairs. It's now the turn of the downstairs loo. For my international friends, do you call it a half bath? I don't know. I get really confused with the terminology. But basically, in the UK, we call it the downstairs loo. It's got a toilet in it and a sink. That's it. Nothing else. Really little room. So impossible for two people to get in there and decorate. You just can't do it. But we went to get some paint because we've run out of white paint. How that's happened, I don't know. But we've run out of white paint. So we went to go and buy some paint. £25 for a 2.5 litre tin of paint. £25. And I appreciate, and we like using Dulux. We use Crown for some stuff, but we like using Dulux. But it was like, really? And even a quick Google, it wasn't cheaper anywhere else. That was Wix. So, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I don't remember the last time I bought any paint, but that really floored me. Barbara, hello. Tavistock is in the house. Have you got any snow, Barbara? Because part of the UK, Devon, Somerset, Avon, Devon, and Cornwall, because they're on the west coast, they often get tricky weather. We used to live in Somerset, and I used to travel all over Devon and Cornwall, and often had sleeping bags, blankets, a shovel, salt, grit, a flask, and food, because I was going up into the moors and you could never tell what the weather was going to do. The weather might change quite quickly and you could get stuck. So the west coast of the UK can often get really bad weather as well. Oh, no snow. Quite warm with sunshine. Marvellous. Donna was saying you'd need to pack a couple of lunches and at least a dinner to go from the east coast to the west coast in Australia. Driving takes about 3 or 4 days. That's quite a long way. But and this is something, again, when we think about driving distances, it depends on the roads. So if I was to drive from where we are up to the Highlands in Scotland, it would probably take 15 hours or so. And that's what, 400 miles, I think. If you were going to drive 400 miles in the US, for instance, it might only take you 8 hours. Because here in the UK, we have roundabouts and we have lots of traffic slowing things. And it just seems to take so much longer. I'm going to look at the distances, Donna, and figure that out. Ali. Oh, no, hang on. No, we said that. Price of ham, said Ali. That's something else we can talk about. Snow due in Northumberland tomorrow, says Elizabeth. Blimey. So I think that was obviously the weather warning that I saw, Elizabeth. Stay safe. And if you get pretty snow pictures, send me them, because I'm always jealous of the snow. Hi, Stella. Texas is here. Good to see you. So that's probably enough chitter-chatter for today. Do let me know if over the next few weeks, if you've got any requests of things for me to make. Today, I've decided to make a little box that can double up as like a present, but it looks like it's wrapped. Does that make sense? Probably. But I wanted to do something so that you could give gift cards, but it's not just in an envelope. I think quite often you know, if you're giving money or you're giving a gift card, you still want it to look like a gift, not like a card. Does that make sense? So I thought that's what we would do today, which reminds me, I need to go and get some of the chocolate out of my secret stash of chocolate, because that needs to go in there as well. So I'll do that in a second. But first, I have some cards to show you. So this one is from Sally, which is a really lovely card. Thank you, Sally. Then this one is from Scylla. I think Scylla's here today, which is lovely. And then this one is from Michelle, and this is one of the wobbles that I showed you last week. And Michelle was one of the people that gave me this the wobbles, and this is a really cool sort of folded flip card. It's really lovely. This is my 18th Stampin' Up birthday, which is very cool. In the world of Stampin' Up, it's quite quiet currently. Never trust Stampin' Up to be quiet, because you know something's coming, and something is coming. Today we launched the pre-order for demonstrators for the January to April mini catalogue, which is super cool, and the January online exclusives. So we've got about 6 weeks before it goes live for all customers, which is brilliant, because it just means I've got plenty of time to figure out what I'm going to be doing in classes and doing all of my prep stuff. So I love that Stampin' Up gives us that opportunity to get ahead. And it would be good to get ahead of myself as opposed to running to catch up. So that's kind of why most things are quiet with Stampin' Up, but they have announced next week that there is a Black Friday sale happening. I have emailed about it just to kind of remind you. Stampin' Up have never done a Black Friday sale before. And there are going to be discounts across all different types of products, is my understanding. And it'll be up to 40% off. Of what? I don't know. They haven't told us. So it will be a case of when the sale starts, and I'm going to try and figure that out now. Hang on. Let's see. I can't remember what the date is. It's not very clever, is it? Hang on. It is Black Friday sale, 25th of November. So that is next Tuesday. So that's good. So 25th till the 1st of December. So it's like a week. So that's really cool. And then starting at the beginning of December is our new product of the month promotion, which is going to run all year. Now, I'm going to give you some more information about that next week. But basically, you make a qualifying purchase, and then it kind of unlocks the product of the month that you can then choose to purchase. It's £5. Basically, Stampin' Up are saying these are really, really lovely products that they have specifically designed for product of the month. They will be a mixture of things. I believe that there will be things like papers and stamps and various other items over the year. But I don't know anything else other than that. So as soon as we find out, I will let you know. But there is no pre-order for demonstrators on this product. So we will get to see it when you get to see it, which is lots of fun, because obviously if it's something really, really amazing and we all need to get it, you have to check the website straight away. Okay, so let's get my camera turned around. And let's have a look. Oh, there we go. So let's get the camera turned around and let's get started. So I have got some little Velcro dots for fastening. I'm going to make this twice because I'm going to make a Christmas version and a non-Christmas version. All of the measurements will be on my blog. So I'm going to point sort of an arrow down there. So on YouTube, there'll be a link. There'll be a link to my blog, and you'll be able to get all of the measurements there in case you don't get them. Now, I am using some of the tiny scraps I've got left from Traditions of Christmas. And I know that we are waiting for it in most regions. Certainly, I don't know whether it's back in the US now, but it's been out of stock in all 3 markets. So if you're not aware, we have warehousing in Germany that covers the Europe. And we've got one in Utah, which covers the US and Canada. I don't know, actually, Donna, where's your warehouse? But that covers, and then a third one that covers Australia and New Zealand. So when I'm talking about stock levels, I'm always talking about the European warehouse. But of course, I'm aware sometimes of things being out of stock across the board. So for us, the Traditions of Christmas paper was due in yesterday. It was due in on the 17th. I've checked the stock level report today, and it says now the 24th. So that is next Monday. So I'm guessing it's got snarled up in customs somewhere, which always happens. The dates that Stampin' Up give us are always estimated, and they do fluctuate. So the South Pacific warehouse is in Sydney. So there we go. Right. So I have just got to get some chocolate because otherwise this is not going to work as planned. But the second one I'm going to make is using this paper. Now this is Floral Charm, and you can tell how much I love it because there's barely any left. And if you've never seen this way of storing patterned papers, this is how I store all of my 12 by 12 papers. If it comes with a backing sheet, I put the backing sheet in there because obviously it's got the colors on the back. And then whenever I finish making projects, I put the scraps back in here. So you can see it's just really beautiful papers. And the colors are really nice. And the backs of the papers, you've got like beautiful patterns, but then the backs are more subtle toned, which works so well with projects. So that's Floral Charm. So that's the second paper that I'm going to use with, of course, Misty Moonlight and Misty Moonlight ribbon. Have you seen this one? It's got silver frinkly edges. Right, let me get some chocolate. I'm saying I'm going to get some chocolate. It's likely to be empty wrappers. Let's have a look. What have we got? Dairy Milk buttons. Finger of fudge, curly whirlies. You're wondering why I've got this random assortment of chocolate. It's Brian's. Every year I fill a advent calendar for Brian. And I put lots of different chocolates in. That is, of course, unless I've eaten them. So actually, I think this will work. These will work. Okay, take care, Barbara. These are really lovely, though. Gold reindeers. So in actual fact, this might work really, really well because these are designed to kind of hang on the tree. Does anybody still do that? I kind of feel that that was definitely a 70s and 80s thing, that you had little chocolate baubles to go on the tree. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? So I don't remember us having any, but Brian's mum and dad always did. And my kids used to think that they were sneaking and used to steal them off the back of the Christmas tree so that nobody would know that they were taking them. My father-in-law, there was never no flies on him. He would always know everything. And he used to just keep an extra stack and he'd hang them up on the tree after they'd gone to bed. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a little box that's going to fit a gift card in. This is my National Trust card, but a gift card. So, you know, obviously this can be for anything. And we're going to put chocolate in it as well. So we are going to start out with a piece of card that is 4.5 inches by 9.25. Oh, Judy's never heard of putting chocolate on the tree. So yes, so Judy, they would be little things like this, and they're sold specifically to go on the tree. So there'd be bits of chocolate, and they'd be shaped. Sometimes they'd be shaped like this with a reindeer, or they'd be shaped as a bauble, and then they have a hanging string, and you would put them on the tree. I'll have to see if I can find some pictures, but it's really, yeah. It's obviously a British thing then. Oh, Lorraine's saying Cadbury's do baubles, bags of baubles. And Liz is saying we used to have chocolate baubles on the tree at Christmas. Tesco sell them. Awesome. Okay, so with the 4.5 inch at the top, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1, 3.5, and 4. So basically 1/2 inch and 1 inch from each side. And then we're going to turn with the 9.25 at the top, and we're going to score at 2.25, 2 3/4, 6.25, and 6 3/4. But you're right, Judy. The kids would have probably pulled it over. Yeah. Yes, I think that is probably quite likely. Okay. So we're going to get the scissors, and it doesn't actually matter which end is the top and which end is the bottom, but you need to decide because you're going to cut the panels separately. So what we're going to do is on this bottom right hand side, we've got 2 score lines. On the second score line, I'm going to cut up right the way to the second score line from the bottom. We're going to cut off that section and then the little square. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a little glue tab. And we're going to do a matching thing on this side. Now, I'm working with square edges today because I haven't currently got a corner rounder, but you absolutely can corner round elements of this if you want to. So these 2 little square flaps, we're just going to trim a little triangle off. Like that. And then what's going to happen is this is going to fold up like so. Okay. So then for the piece that's the top, we're cutting off all of these sections. So you're cutting off the rectangles and the squares. Honestly, this comes together so quickly. So basically, this is going to fold up like this and like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate it first. So you're going to decorate it on what looks like the back. And it is for this main bit, but it's always easiest if you can stick things down when it's flat. Oh, my tumbo is a bit gummed up. There we go. Okay. So that piece of patterned paper is 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then the top and the bottom, like I said, they're both the same. So they are 2 inches by 2 1/4 inches. So, like I said, it doesn't matter which way round you go. She says. That's bigger. Did I mismeasure? Hang on. 2 1/4. I did. There is a difference. This is 1/4 inch bigger. So I need a bigger bit of patterned paper. So I need to go and get it. Bear with me because that's just going to look wrong. Chat amongst yourselves. Judy's just saying she ordered 6 chocolate advent calendars to give family at Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, chocolate advents are a big thing in our family too. Yeah, we have them. So who else has advent calendars? And what type of advent calendars do you have? You can chat in the comments and I'll run downstairs and go and get some more paper. Blimey. Okay, so that is, so it's going to be 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Oh, told you I'm down to my last few scraps. Such pretty paper. There we go. So there was me saying it doesn't matter which is the bottom and which is the top. Thankfully, oh dear. Thankfully, I had made this the bottom. So you want this bottom section to be the bigger one. I thought I'd changed the measurements, and obviously I haven't. So this is going to be the base. So the bigger section is going to be the base. So what we're going to do is use tape. Now, as a general rule, I use Tombow glue. Everyone knows this. But sometimes I use tape, particularly when I don't want the glue to ooze out places. So for this piece, I'm putting a little bit of tape on these little square glue tabs. And I've put tape along these edges because this is going to fold over like so. And that's going to stick down. And if I put glue on there, it could kind of ooze out. Now, it helps when you're gluing if you put the things in it that are going to sort of be in there, because what that will do is it'll give you something to glue against. So I am going to put a couple of reindeers in there. Look, we might have to put an upside down reindeer. Yeah, look, that works better. So we'll just lift off the tape. Obviously, meantime, tell me all about your advent calendars. When we were with Kim a couple of weekends ago, she's got an advent calendar from my mother-in-law, and it's a candle melt. Yeah, wax melts, aren't they? That's what they're called, wax melts. Advent calendar. And so every time you walk past it, you get this waft of all these different fragrances. Because there's so many different sorts of calendars now. Stampin' Up even did one this year. So when you are folding that down, these are a bit fat actually to go in here. Let me lift that one out. When you're folding it down, the important thing is to keep everything square. So I'm just going to put my fingers in here. And then this edge, this cut edge, is going to line up with that score line, like so. So let's see. Let's squash up a packet of buttons. Yeah, you see. Oh, that's a perfect fit. A mini bag of buttons. And then you have got your flap there. So this time I'm just going to put one. Oh no, I'll put two on here actually. Let's put two on. I've got plenty. So I've put the Velcro there, and then it's matching fluffy bits. So the first bit was the teeth, and then I put the fluffy bit on, and then so they're kind of stuck. And then when you fold this over, they will then stick where they need to go. And I'm going to lift it off. There we go. So I am going to take the things out because I'm going to need them for the next card, the next box, but I'm just going to get my ribbon. And this is what I was saying earlier about this looking like a present rather than a card, because I just think that it's really nice to have something that people go, "Ooh, what's in there?" Ooh, let's just fiddle around. And this is the real red shiny ribbon. Just turn it so it's the right way round. There we go. So there's your Christmas version. So let's do this again with a non-festive version. So let's just pull that together, and then once I've cut this and scored it, I will look at your Advent suggestions, because I'd like to know what other things you have. So in Brian's Advent, it's actually the box Advent that we had a few years ago with little pull-out drawers, and I do it for him every year, and he absolutely adores dark Toblerone. And I don't know, for any of you in the UK who like dark Toblerone, let you know that it is no longer sold in the UK. You can only now get it when you travel, which is really sad. I'm just looking at the patterns of paper because I cut the wrong size, didn't I, last time? And I've only got scraps left. Colour is that on the back? I don't think I'm going to have enough. Okay, I'm going to have to put pink on the back. So 2 1/4 by 3 1/4, and then 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, right. So I've got the right sizes now. So Donna is thinking about making one for the new house this year. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Judith saying she's got a Hotel Chocolat couples Advent calendar. So does that mean you both get a chocolate each day, Judith? Because or do you have to share? I'm just checking. And oh yes, of course, you've got the 12 Days of Christmas, which is the Stampin' Up Advent. Judy's got 1 year. She ordered the Bon Maman little jams. That's awesome. So she reuses those jars for orange and lemon zest in the freezer. Oh, thank you, Judy, saying it's an adorable little box. Judith is saying yes. So the Hotel Chocolat couples advent. I'll have to have a look at that because that sounds yummy. And Susan bought 2 big dark Toblerones at the airport last month. Exactly. So if you ask Brian what he wants for Christmas or his birthday or Father's Day, he says dark Toblerone. That is it. There is no other request. So it's like a mission. The whole family. So when we were in Madeira this year, we all bought additional supplies. So I just check the dates on it, and I just make sure I've got some for his birthday and some for Christmas. Bless him. It's not that he actually eats that much of it, though, to be fair. So he's usually got like a stack of 4 or 5 or more in the cupboard waiting to be eaten. Okay, so it's 4.5 by 9.25. I've scored it at 1/2 and at 1 inch, and then 3.5 and 4 inches. And then on this side, it's 2.25, 2 3/4, 6.25, and 6 3/4. So this bit is the bottom. So there is a 1/4 inch difference. To be honest, I don't think it matters that much. But if it concerns you, then just make sure it is the bottom one. So we're just going to chop off these bits. And the same on this one. I'll just trim a little bit of the triangles off there. And then this top section, we're cutting the rectangles and the squares off, because this is just going to go over as a flap. So then we're going to put the, excuse me, the patterned paper on. Oh, yeah. Judith saying Amazon has dark chocolate Toblerone, £13 for 4 small bars. Yeah, the thing with that is the pricing of it can be horrendous. We often look. But what I managed to do at the airport this time was I got not only the big bars, but I also got the mini bars. And normally you can only get those in mixed bags. But I managed to get a bag that was all dark. So that then meant that I can put that in his advent calendar. So that's good, along with these lints and various other curly whirlies and things. I just change it up each day. Yeah. So Susan's saying she paid £13 for the 2 giant ones. Yeah, and I think that's the price difference. But at least if ever we get really stuck or we don't know anyone who's going on holiday, then Amazon will be the place to go, because you can't even get it from the website now. But they keep bringing out lots of different flavors of Toblerone. I saw that there was like a salted almond one the other day. Something really weird. Okay. So let's just get this folded up. Fold that in. And these pieces, you know, I said about using a corner rounder. It would be really nice to corner round here. You can actually use a circle punch to corner round as well. That also works. But equally, it looks nice with square edges. So it's just lining those bits up. I have just not cut my edges square. Just talk amongst yourselves while I trim this. What are you doing, Amanda? All right, there we go. Got a nice square edge now. So I can put my little gift card in. Think of a fudge. Curly Whirly's not going to fit. Maybe A. Yeah, the reindeers are a bit fat, look. That's sad. What about Santa? Is Santa thinner? Santa might be, actually. Oh, still bulging. So you're going to have to figure it out. There are lots of chocolates that come in the long bars, little bars. I saw, where did I see them? It must have been Lidl, I think. They're about the size of my finger. And there were lots of different flavors. So there were sort of praline versions and coffee versions and all sorts. But they were like a selection box. So they would fit in there. And to be honest, jewelry would fit in there as well. So with this one, I'm not going to put Velcro on because I'm going to use the ribbon. So, you know, I think you can do it either way. You can use the Velcro. And actually, I've got another thought. Bear with me. I've got like a minute to go. That's okay. We'll just carry on. So we can just pull that over. I love this ribbon with the silvery bits on it. Let's trim that off. Okay. So there's, we need it a bit more poofy than that. There we go. So that's another version, but let's take this off. So because we've got the Velcro here, what you could do instead of having the ribbon all the way round is you could put the ribbon here on this bit. Because you could dangle a tag on it as well then. Let me just pull that through. Oh, we're upside down. Hang on. Let's just flip it around. Ooh. Yeah. Bear with me. Actually, this would look really nice with the gold ribbon as well. So obviously you've got Velcro. So the Velcro itself will hold it down. So you could just have a little offset ribbon like that. Bring it down a little bit, like so. Let's just pull that round like that. Okay, so let me move my sweeties out the way. That bow is rubbish. Hang on. But do you see where I'm going with this? So you don't have to have the ribbon all the way around like this one. So this is tied up like a parcel, but you could decorate it there like that. Oh, Carrie, bless you. Yeah, it's 2:00. We start at 2, but that's okay because you can watch me on replay. Thank you. Thank you for all your love for the little boxes. I just think that they are such a great way of gifting a gift card. Because, you know, it helps to have something that's pretty as well. Okay, so I will love you and leave you. I will see you next week. As always, shall I start that again. Thank you for joining me. Everything that you've seen here today can be purchased in my online store. So if you pop over to my blog, which is www.inspiringinking.com, you'll be able to see clickable links for all of the items. The measurements will be up on my blog tomorrow. If you didn't catch them as I was making the project, that's where they will be, and there'll be a link on the YouTube video for you to be able to see that, and just pop over to my blog and you'll be able to see that there. So thank you so much. I will see you all again next week. Take care till then. Goodbye.